So welcome to the space of sacred sovereignty. We're here as Sophias in our feminine energies of design, birth, safeguard, and with authority, keep home exclusive. Breathe and let that energy of your breath bring you into this present circle in this present moment. We're grateful for Gaia, her sense of presence with us, her permission for us to be here, we working with her in her power of authority also. So we're grateful for those who are beyond earth in the heavens of the Laniakea galactic worlds. So many there, as well as those within the energies that are Gaia's communities and collectives. We're grateful that we are in a culture in this space that is a maternal culture based on values that we hold for those we love, for the world and all life. We're grateful for the mycelium of the wisdom of women that has been anchored and is growing and holds and feeds, guides, and resources from that perspective as we're held within the directions of Gaia, within all of the energies of the solar system and the sun. We are here as presence, portal, and door into Stargate, taking all energy regions, lifting them into the frequency of our unified field. So our space is set. Grateful to be here, holding those who are with us virtually and will be with us through recordings, holding them in this space also. And so it is. Okay. Here are the dots, and I'm just going to go over them with you and let them roll around. So first of all, one dot. In our galactic worlds, before there was an Earth, there were beings from home who added numerical formulas to allow them to have intentions and then agendas for power over and be parasitic. Dot one. Dot two, Earth's purpose was to identify those energies, the codes, and have them made extinct. And that authority was given to souls in female bodies. Dot number two. Dot number three. Our forefathers studied the Iroquois Confederation because they had found a model. They were given a model, actually. They had been living in peace for over 200 years, where before they were fighting and killing each other. So the forefathers, Benjamin Franklin, etc., studied the Confederation, how that was set up as they were getting ready to set up a model for this new country. So they studied the Iroquois. Dot number four. In the Iroquois Confederation, the model started with common values, and they have about 7 of them. Each tribe was presented with the values, the elders of the tribe, until They discussed until they could say yes or no. You want to be involved with this new group? These are the values you have to adhere to. So they had common values, which was to benefit life, including Gaia, including animals, including each other. Next dot. The Iroquois nations put women in charge. They determine who are the leaders, and they run the meetings, and they can have leaders removed. The founding fathers put together values that they could agree to, that others, the little colonies could agree to. But there is no place for women. Women were totally left out. So the authority voice that women bring, intentionally to bring, that somehow the Iroquois nation put in their plan, they probably they didn't know galactic stuff, but somehow they did. So the Iroquois nation put in place that women were in charge, especially of keeping values according to their what would bring good and what would not bring good. The women had that removed. Our founding fathers set the values, did not put women in place. So recently, a friend of mine, Beth, said, I was just listening to an NPR, this interview with this fellow, Ty Cobb, who had been working with Trump until he decided Trump was pretty damn icky. So Ty Cobb says something like this, and he's a lawyer, I believe. Our Constitution does not have the capacity to deal with anyone as evil as Trump. Our Constitution does not have the capacity to deal with anyone as evil as Trump. So the next dot, I said, is because women were left out. They were left out and so there's no authority. There's no authority in our government to have evil removed. There is nothing in our Constitution, in our government, to have evil removed. We have democracy that's at risk, but we don't have any way to have evil removed through our Constitution and our system of governance. Have you thought about that before? So, all of a sudden, over the last, 2 months, here you're a presence of good. You've claimed that for years, many of you, consciously or unconsciously. I'm a presence of good. I hold these values. And we've been using that presence, the Sophia authority, which is the authority. And then we were told we're not just a presence, we're portals, doors, where? To the Stargate, unified field in that Stargate, which is our divine families and our higher self, the higher self of all of humanity, and those are not even in physical bodies, are in that unified field. And I've been told just recently it's time to declare the reality and manifested culture created by women. And from that culture, laying on top of the unified field of our divine family is what is now being called forth. And we're right there being directed that we're at the 11th hour. Who are we in that 11th hour? We're not part of the government. We're not part of the Constitution. It's not a democracy. But we hold the authority. Something needs to be known, done, and acted on because it's the 11th hour. So for me, the outcome is the election is solidly, the outcome of the election is solidly bringing in the capacity for those who will bring greater good. That by the first of the year, the shift toward greater good as it comes from this culture of women creating is manifested. Now, what is it, the 11th hour? What do we need to do? So that's where I'm at right now. And what is it? What does that stir for you? What does that stir as it relates maybe to today?
For me, I think it means that it really is time for us to stand in our power, to accept our power, and to remember who we are as we do our just everyday life and ask for, demand, work with, set up the processes that our values are broadcast continually. I have the back burner
Yeah.
that I activate. I don't have to sit in deep meditation for this to happen. My presence can make this happen. And I think that I know for myself that I get distracted from this, from who I am and why I'm here. And it's time to refocus, rededicate. I mean, we feel it. We know this stuff. We've heard Sharon say this stuff a million different times. So I have to ask myself, why did I need to hear it again today? And now I need to hold it close to my heart and act from it and not let it go again.
For me, hearing this, I had known about the Iroquois and, the women's role and how it was just, kind of stolen by the forefathers and, modified to meet the patriarchy. But I feel like this reminder and this time with the elections and the fact that you kept hearing 11th hour multiple times is because there's something that more is needed at this time. I do really think that. I think, like, I don't know if it's necessarily this call today, but perhaps, a really focused vision call of, calling in the leaders that are going to be able to bring us into the new earth. And also, like, a really vigilant extermination that needs to happen. But it does feel as though something more is being asked and needed of us than has been before.
I agree with Arlie and Janelle. I was not aware of the Iroquois, the way they live, but it's not surprising to me that we, you know, convoluted it for our own purposes, unfortunately. But it does feel like we've been, how shall I put this? Fighting fair in an unfair fight. And I maybe we've been holding punches or pulling punches. Um, I don't claim to know what the next step is, but I do feel as Sharon, you were talking, I do feel the sense of urgency. I do feel it. It's a different kind of energy. And so I don't know, that kind of brings the question like, what does that mean? How do we change our tactics? What processes do we create? Like, what is it possible for us to stay fair in an unfair fight? Like, I don't know how any of that really works. So I'm genuinely, I'm not being rhetorical, like I'm genuinely asking what what can we further do to really amplify our power?
One more thing about the Iroquois. They were invited to the Continental Congress when the Constitution was being ratified. And I think it was the $5 bill way back when used to have a picture of them up in the balcony. And when they heard what was being ratified, they said, "You have created an opening for great evil. Maybe not this generation, maybe not the next generation." But basically, they said, the center cannot hold with the way you've done this. And then, as to something Alicia said, fighting fair in an unfair fight. We don't have to fight fair. We know the laws of energy. We're on a completely different game board. Let's not play their game at all. Let's do it our way, with energy, with peace, with love in our hearts. Remove the shit.
Thank you, Sharon, for sharing this and everyone else's input. It's just making me realize that this encounter that I had with this woman was actually a very, very good thing for me. Like you say, it was the whistleblower. It was waking me up. It was further waking me up. It got me to it took me to a place of saying, this is a line I don't cross. This isn't acceptable. It got me to come into my power, because I think my husband and others may say, wow, that doesn't seem like you. But so I'm taking that as a step for me to just, I don't want to say take lessons from that, because it really isn't that particular situation. It's waking me up to know what I came here to do and accepting that I have the power to do it. And I think that's something, not realizing I have the power to make the change, to help make the change. And so, yeah, that's it. I'm feeling right now, there is so much energy here in all of us that has kind of, I don't want to say woken up or we've embraced that. I'm just questioning. So how can we direct this energy in this place, in this right moment, in this whatever, to help move this along?
I've appreciated every word everyone has said, and I'm right there with all of it. One piece that has popped in for me is if we want to change, we need, this all started with, we need to elect people who will move us into the future, that the good fight. And I'm suddenly so just aware, appreciative, and even confused about some of the women politicians we have right now. When Trump first kind of started this term and started making these sweeping, awful things, and Congress seemed to do nothing. We have a very active woman politician named Patty Murray in our state, and I have supported her in many things. But boy, it was like there was some days there when I thought I'm not voting for anybody who's currently in office because they're not doing right. They're not standing up to this man. They're not doing it. And in the last, I don't know how long a time, 6 months, I'm not really sure when I noticed it, Patty Murray has stepped up. Patty Murray is speaking out. She is taking on all of it. And part of me is thinking, I'm so glad that she is in that place. I want to support her and I want to give her a team of people in the Congress who will fight the good fight like she is. But how to support the congresswomen that are already in place and the ones that are coming in is on my mind. I don't know how to do that. What can we do that? What are the actions that can do that? Is what I'm thinking.
So here's why I added this point. First of all, the 11th hour says in a life that this person has a 3 months and then they're gone. The 11th hour says there's things that can be done while that person is still in the body because he's going to be gone. There's things that can be done. It has nothing to do, it doesn't say you're not doing enough, you haven't done enough. No, 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 no. We're being told that we are in the 11th hour of some major shift. And there is those who know what that is. What is it we're being called to do? We can't really ask each other because we don't know, but we can ask, what is it? I accept the call for the 11th hour action from me. What is it that I am to do? Because the shift for us isn't elected officials. It is not in democracy. It is not in the Constitution. It isn't there. Those leaders will never be able to get rid of the evil. Our voice has to step up in this moment to say, like you say, Karen, gratitude for those who've done that political, because it's awful. I've tried it. It's awful. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Teams, keep feeding them. Keep supporting them. Keep protecting them. Absolutely. They can only do what the Constitution gives them the right to do, and it isn't getting rid of evil. They do not have the power to get rid of evil. Now, do they have the power to begin collaborating in different ways? Yes. Now, great. That's what we want. We want the election process to increase the capacity of working with each other for the greater good. That's what we could hope for in democracy, in elections. In this situation, the elimination of evil can only come through women saying, hey, wait a minute. We women are the ones charged with putting the leaders in place. And I think the women voted him in place. Don't you remember? It was a majority of lots of women who voted him in place. And we are the ones who have the authority to say, rip the leadership away. To me, that's where we're at. So there's that shift in infusing those who are there, increasing the amount of those who collaborate for the greater good. That's what the elections can do. That's what we want as outcome. We can word it differently, but let's go with that one for right now. The elections increase the capacity. Who said capacity? The capacity for collaboration, strength, and unity for good. That's the elections. That capacity increases, they're guided, they're unified from the mid-elections onward. The 11th hour says what do we need to do? From the voice of women stepping into their rightful place in the United States, saying, we are stepping in, saying, this is what we declare and demand and will hold. And I think it's just has recognizing that this is a moment. It's a moment. We can't let it pass. So maybe that would be the focus for each of us today, is to say, what is it then for me personally? I get it. At least I get it to this point. What is it for me personally? Hearing, we have heard the call. We are absolutely committed to what the work might be that we're called to. We are absolutely committed to the outcomes we have worked for and spoken of today. We are holding the qualities, increasing our capacity, being inspired. We have accepted the call. We want the wisdom. We want the guidance. We want the strength of steadfast for this period of time. Be in that space, whatever way it works for you. And I'll call us back in 10 minutes. Got about another minute. Make sure that you have the clarity, energy of strength, whatever you need from those who are working with us before you come back to the circle. Okay. So we'll just go around popcorn style. Whatever it is you feel and you want to pass, that's fine too. But for me, it was to really use that power of imagination and creativity. Yeah, I could see the suffragettes, Julie Ward Howe, all the women who have stood in this country. They were standing in the middle of the Constitution, rolling it up, Bill of Rights, rolling it up and burning it. I said, we are redoing it. We are redoing it. The evaluation, we already know, we're redoing it. And then as I'm getting to the end, my daughter Diane has been working with family courts for over 10 years, and they are so corrupt. And it makes perfect sense that they're part of the system too. So I said, okay, we're going to move to family courts, and I'm in local right here, holding that space of the energy of what has been burned, and women, us here and those in the other worlds, writing it new. Whatever that means, that's me.
Long story short, I created a miasma over the entire earth of our values after creating, let's one step back, creating the space first, then creating this miasma of our values so that every living being on the earth, every breath they take, they inhale them, it becomes part of themselves, and move on from there. There was a lot more, but that's a nut.
I got, excuse me, I got that they took me back to creating communities with and for women to gather and support one another, because when women are supported in all ways, they have more capacity to lead others. And they said that men will recognize this to be true through the Christ consciousness. So, so that, yeah, that's what I got.
Thank you, Sharon. I got a list of couple of things that I can do, which is continue to support women doing this work. It didn't really say how. Pay attention and really support them, including give money, which I kind of had, I stopped and chuckled at, because this money that I have received recently is from my MAGA uncle, who lived his whole life with these MAGA values. And he was a good man. I know him to be a good man, but it's interesting that I have resource to give that comes from that, to change that, to destroy that, actually. And some energy work, set up an altar and do daily work, and keep creating the vision for the new earth based on all good. So that was what I got.
One of the other pieces I was reminded, I think I sent it out into an email about a march starting on the West Coast, going to the government, ending up at the government to take back our government, which is in the 1930s. Who thought about taking back our government? So that came up again. And and they said, do you see, you guys are part of that. We are taking back the government and reframing it and re-energizing it and supporting something different. Alicia or Lynn, is there anything you'd like to say before we close?
I went, Sharon. I went right after you.
Oh, that's right. I got the notes. I just didn't put
Thanks for asking, though.
I didn't put your name on it. I got the notes.
Hmm.
Lynn might be still out in the Neverland. Okay, so I'm asking our teams to keep us invigorated, steadfast, infused, guided for this period of time. And whatever that period of time is, it's not a forever, it's now. It's the 11th hour, but it's important right now. We're grateful to be together for those who are helping us, guiding us. We're ready. Okay, my loves. Woohoo! I'll get this out to you, and I'll also get you onto Minds, because I think this is a conversation for me anyway. I'd like to see what we're discovering, not just wait till next week. So we'll see. Okay. Love you. Bye.
You. Thank you, Sharon.
Bye, everyone.